Happening YouTube, it's your boy Dr. Cuts, and today in this video I'm going to be doing a mid-faded taper. Okay, shout out to my boy Josh Higgs who does my beats, link in the description below. Right, let's get cracking. As you can see, I've gone in with my Gamma Ergo trimmer, and this is where I do my mid-tapered lines too. Okay, you can see it's not too high and it's not too low. This is why I call it, I would say, a perfect mid fade. That's how I would describe this. Okay, what you're going to see with this haircut, my client was only in a couple of weeks ago, and so when you see this haircut progress with the lever open as my next stage, you're going to see I don't create too many harsh guidelines. And the reason I do that is because he was only in a while ago, only a week or so ago, you can almost cut into what's already there. It's a great tip for beginner barbers, because what can happen is a lot of times when you first start out, you create all your guidelines really harshly because that's what they tell you to do. But actually, when they've only been in a week or so ago, you tend to find you can just fade into what's already there. It saves time and you're still going to get a lovely blend. So follow along, watch it, and you can see I don't create too many harsh guidelines. You can see my technique, I'm flicking out a lot. I'm not, digging in. You just want to come out and try and flick into what's already there. So now guys, I'm going in with the one guard with a lever open. This will be the equivalent to a 1.5. Just take notice how I'm only using a couple of teeth at a time. I'm using the corner of the blade. And as you can see, I'm not trying to set in no harsh guideline, I'm just fading out. As he was only in a week ago, you don't need to set harsh guidelines. I would say this is almost as much detail work at this point as it is fading, because it was already looking pretty faded. As I said earlier, I'm just fading into what's already there. Just watch on, take notice. I'll be using the zero guard after this, and it's a combination of detail work and fading at the same time with this, as he was only in a week ago. So at this point in the back of the neck taper, I'm just simply detailing. I'm still using just 2 teeth at a time, the corner of the blade, and I'm just looking at what I can see needs fading out. This is something that you will learn in time, you'll get better at. You've got to be persistent with it, you know. No one can teach you how to detail a haircut. You just got to keep cutting hair, and eventually you'll learn what needs cutting and what needs to be left alone, you know, and that's just experience, time, persistence, and it will pay off. So just take notice with the sides, it's exactly the same technique as the back. Just notice how with the lever open, which will be a 0.5, I've gone up about half an inch and I'm just flicking out, you know, I'm trying to make, I've put a guideline in so I know where I've got to fade down to, but I haven't put a harsh guideline in, and that's what I'm going to do with all these steps. After this I'm going to go in with the lever open on the 1 guard, and then afterwards you're going to see me actually go in with a 2 as well. Now on camera it looked like it didn't need fading that much, but that's where the human eye plays a part. You see, sometimes the camera don't pick these things up. The human eye plays a part, and at the time during the haircut I would have seen that there's just little dark spots that needed fading out, and that's ultimately what is going to separate you from being an average barber and a good barber. You need to see those things and just trust the process. These things take time, you know. If you've just started cutting hair, don't beat yourself up if you can't get these fades perfect straight away. It's persistency, you know. It took me years to see these little finer details, so don't worry guys, stay tuned. With this side of the taper, I went in with the lever open, and then after that I didn't need to go in with the 1 guard. I went in with a 0 guard straight into it, and that's because I could see that actually just going in with a 0 guard straight away, it was going to fade right in. Every side's different to a haircut, and that's why you've got to be versatile. You know, you don't have to stick to the techniques perfectly, because if you can see the length and be like, actually I can go straight in with a 0 guard, I don't need to go in with a 1 guard, do it. You know, have the confidence to do it. That's experience, that's time. This side I barely had to touch the 2 or the 1, it was just more lever open and 0 guard, and that was it. just notice with the line up how I'm stretching the skin at the front. This makes it so much sharper, okay? By just stretching that skin a little bit, it makes lining them up that much easier and it makes it that much sharper. Take notes to how I'm doing that, okay? When it comes to the back bit, you're going to see, and with the whole lineup, what you see is I'm always pulling away. I'm not digging in, okay? I'm just pulling away. Everything I do is in an outward motion, just pulling away from the skin. It might only be subtle movements, but it's always going away from the skin, okay? My trimmer is zero gapped. I prefer having a trimmer that's a lot sharper and me using it a lot softer, okay? Let the trimmer do the work. You don't need to press down hard, you're just simply tapping it. If the trimmer's sharp, it's going to do the work. You know, that's better than, say, having a less sharp trimmer and you're digging in hard. You know, you're going to hurt the client, you're not going to get a sharp line up. You know, just let the trimmer do the work. So I've just slowed this down so you can just have a look at some technique that I use when I detail my haircuts, okay? Just notice how I'm flicking out. It's very subtle, but the blade is flicking out. I'm using only a couple of the teeth at the time and I'm just flicking out. Let that sink in. It's not big, over exaggerated flicks, it's just very small. YouTube, this is the trim. And if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You can see the link is in the video. It's at Oster Barbers. And I just want to say, well done. You've now fully completed the mid-fade taper. It's your boy Dr. Cuts, over and out. See you soon, guys.